Hey everybody, it's Brian with Old Man New Tech, and today I would like to start off with giving a shout out to everybody out there who's been supporting the channel, and that includes the fine guys over at LSG Media who did me a real big service by giving me a shout out on their Facebook page. It's a great podcast network if you ever get a chance to look it up. And I want to give thanks to everybody so far that's been supporting the channel. Without you, I can't bring these great product reviews. My daughter wanted to get Apple Airpods, and as you know, they are a little bit pricey. They retail around $160. So what I did is I went online and I started looking for alternatives to the AirPods. Not for her, because I know she wanted to get what she wanted, but for me, I wanted to see if there was something out there that was affordable, that would do pretty much the same thing, maybe even have some of the same styling. I did a shout out on one of my previous videos asking, or actually talking about that challenge, and a company heard me called thespinningdeal.com, and they sent me some AirPod alternatives for review. So we're going to be cracking these open today. We're going to take a look at them. We're going to see how they perform and whether or not they are a decent competitor to the AirPods. Now, getting some AirPods to compare them to was not easy. Okay, we're gonna take Chloe's AirPods so I can use them for the video tomorrow. Yoink!
Dad,
So I want you to keep this in mind as we're looking at these I12 TWSs, which you'll find at thespinningdeal.com, and we compare them to the AirPods. I want you to keep this number in mind, 300%, because we're going to talk about that later. So as you'll see, these boxes are almost identical. Identical as far as shape, thickness, size, and the unboxing experience. While Apple does a great job in the unboxing experience, these aren't too shabby either. The I12s are not too shabby. In fact, you'll see they come in a nice little bag, and my daughter's already opened these, so I don't have the nice filmy plastic to show you. You'll see that from a casing standpoint, they're very similar. Let's flip them around to the back. And let's look at the bottom. So what you'll see is that on the bottom, from a charging standpoint, what I love about these is that they use the exact same charger, the lightning cables, as the Apple Airpods and all other Apple devices. You're using the same charging cable that you would be for your iPhone. You got the nice magnetic pop when you open it. So very similar to the AirPods. AirPod, I12. Gotta make sure I don't get them too mixed up. That satisfying little magnetic snap that I can get a little bit OCD about. From an unboxing standpoint, you're gonna see some similarities, not exact. Once we get the phone out of the case, we have our instruction manuals. Normally I chuck these aside because I should be able to operate them pretty easily, and you can. However, you get to learn about some of the functionality here, because with these AirPod alternatives and with the AirPods, there is a lot of functionality that's going on in your ears. So I do keep these around for this. And it also comes with a mini lightning cable. So again, it comes with everything you need to get you up and running. Let's see how easy they sync to my iPhone. Let me open the case and take them out. And you see TWS here, and they are connected. And they synced. I just heard the little I12 voice come on and say they are synced. So now we have sound. And as you can see, they're both in. They don't come out that easy. So they look very much the same. This hand I have the AirPods. This one I have the I12s. The AirPods look a little bit different on the head. They have a little hole here. The stems on the 12, or the girth if you will, is a little bit thicker. Just a little bit, but not noticeable. In putting the I12s in my ears, they're very comfortable and they immediately start playing, which is really nice in as much as they're simple to use. They sync right up. The sound on them is really good. They are better than most earphones that I've used. All I gotta do is touch it to get them to play. And according to the directions, if I hold this side down, just press my ear for 3 seconds, Siri will come up. Let's see it. 1, 2, 3. Hi Siri, play music. All right, there it goes. So Siri works. It's easy to control. Tap once on the one side to turn the volume up. Tap on the left side to turn the volume down. They work really good. Comparable to the AirPods. With the price difference, you're gonna see that 300 number pop up again here towards the end because it's an important number to consider when you're looking at buying AirPods versus an alternate like the I12s from thespinningdeal.com. So what I'll do now is we're going to take a look at these up close and personal. As far as range goes, I tested these out with my teenage daughter and we hooked them up to our phones and we both did a walk. We walked at least 50 feet to our front door and then we walked out of the house and to the driveway. We got over 100 feet away and both the I12s and the AirPods cut out at the same time. So they have similar range, even though the AirPods operate on Bluetooth 4.2. They've got a special chip in them that allows them to travel a little bit farther distance and sync up easy. And the I12s have Bluetooth 5.0, which compensates for that and allows them to go every bit as far as the AirPods. As far as latency goes, there was no noticeable latency when I hooked these up to both YouTube and to Netflix through my phone. So there's almost zero latency when it comes to the I12s. Now, as far as how long the I12s last, the I12s last at least 4 hours of playtime at 50% volume, which is very similar to the AirPods. And the case will charge 5 times according to the specs. So that is 20 hours of playtime that you will have once you walk out the door. Again, they charge with the same cable as the AirPods. Hey, why don't we go ahead and make a call? They sync right back up when I put them back in my ears. It's a weird thing. Call Wife Ice. It's calling my wife. Hi, I'm calling you on the I12s. And I can hear you clearly out of both of my ears. How do I sound on your end? It's clear. Sounds a little bit like I'm on a speakerphone, but it's clear. Okay. All right, great. Excellent. Nice talking to you, sweetie. Love you. Bye. From an operational standpoint, they operate very, very similar to the AirPods. And from a performance standpoint, I can tell you that they sound similarly. The AirPods have just a little bit more bass, just a little bit. Not much to make a noticeable difference, but I've had people try them out in the office, and for the price, they've been telling me that they really like the I12s. And I got to tell you, this is where that 300% number comes in. Is there 300% worth of difference between the two? Because for the AirPods, I'm spending $160. For these I12s, I'm spending $50. And actually, thespinningdeal.com gave me a 5% discount code that you'll see down below. OldMan5 actually is the discount code. You'll get 5% off your purchase. So shout out to these guys for finding something out there that is a great alternative to the AirPods, because from a comfort standpoint, they're very comfortable. And from a utility standpoint, they work great. I mean, I keep touching them and turning my podcasting on. So They're binaural. They operate independently of each other, much like the AirPods. There are other models and other clones out there that do not operate independently. So I can use one or the other as an earpiece. I can split them up between two different devices as well, which is kind of cool. The similarities are that they both can control Siri. With the AirPods, you can just talk to Siri without having to touch your ear. Not a big sacrifice in my book. But from a look standpoint, as you can see, they look very similar. So they look very similar to each other. In fact, if you're passing somebody on the street with the I12s in, you're not going to know that they don't have AirPods. The cases are almost identical. Now, since the I12s have a little bit of a thicker stem to them, they will not fit into the AirPod case like some other clones do. However, where these are different than other clones is that they use the same charging cable. They use that Apple charging cable, which if you've got Apple products, it makes all the difference in the world from a convenience standpoint. From a different standpoint, you'll notice that the AirPods are a little heavier, a little bit more dense. The plastic has a little bit of a higher quality feel to it. Not that noticeable though. You really have to hold them side by side and compare them. In fact, when I've handed people the I12 case, they thought that I was handing them an AirPod case. In fact, when they opened it up, they thought I was handing them AirPods. So we talked about the difference that 300% makes. Are the AirPods 300% better than the I12s? I say no, not by a long shot. I mean, the only difference that I've seen in the AirPods from a performance standpoint is they have a little bit more bass to them, a little bit, but it's not a noticeable difference. The bass difference between the AirPods and the I12s can be compensated for just using your equalizer settings. So I get plenty of bass out of the I12s, and I'm not going to kill myself if I lose them. At the end of the day, would I recommend purchasing the I12s? Definitely. I would definitely take a look at purchasing these if you are thinking about getting the AirPods and having that Apple name in your pocket means all that much of a difference to you. Great, go for it. More power to you. I just can't justify spending $160 on these. Spending below $50 for this almost the same thing, to me, is a deal that I'll take all day long. So you would be very wise to purchase these. Now, if you're looking for a deal on these, the links are down below. You can click on the link and go right to thespinningdeal.com. Don't forget to use that discount code, OldMan5. It's right down there for you. And please, go out and enjoy listening to these. I know I am. And we'll be doing our best to bring you the latest in electronics from an old man's perspective.